Bonjour, bonjour tout le monde. Bienvenue pour l'autre émission en Kozé. Qui j'en ai? Souhaitez tout le monde très bien. Mois d'août commencé, mes amis, était presque fini. So, je souhaite nous te gagner. Si vous avez temps pour prendre des vacances ou bien relax, je suis content de nous avec nous aujourd'hui. Nous sommes Boston Caribbean Network. Nous avons regardé En Kozé. En Kozé, c'est un show qui vient nous chaque dimanche à 4h. Et je suis pile dans nous, c'est gros fanatique En Kozé nous. Et si vous connaissez des gens qui connaissent le show ou bien Boston Caribbean Network, partagez-le. Relève, dites-nous live aujourd'hui parce que vous ne pouvez pas perdre la conversation ça nous va le gagner aujourd'hui. So, en pile fois dans En Kozé, nous connaissons nos bilingues, nous parlons créole, nous parlons anglais. Je dis, je suis un petit peu plus en anglais. Et m'a essayé de traduire here and there, but please focus up on anglais. So thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of En Kozé. I'm really excited today to have this special guest here at the studio. Even before I introduce my guest, I just want to make sure that everyone understands any subject matter that we discuss on En Kozé. I'm not an expert. I don't want you to take whatever we say here and self-diagnose or take it and run with it. We're sharing information. The guest that I have is, I feel so privileged that they're choosing to share this very sensitive subject, sensitive thing that's happening in their life with us. But the hope is that we're going to share with someone and someone will be encouraged and will be able to see that, you know what, certain things happen in life, but life is still beautiful and worth living and moving on. So, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm really excited to have this guest with me. She's a beautiful young lady who is courageous and has decided that she wants to share this with us. I know that a lot of you know, women in general, how we feel about our hair. Hair is so important for us, and especially in the Haitian community. Even growing up, I know I always heard people would say, oh, cheveux c'est beauté. And so this is a taboo conversation that I don't think a lot of people are having in the Haitian community. And you know what, En Kozé, we're here to bring these conversations that we should all be having. So I have in the studio with me today, Moline Laurent, and we're going to be talking about alopecia. Welcome, darling.
Thank you.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for doing this. I know we talked a few times and I mentioned it. I was a little hesitant to ask because it is a sensitive matter and it's something that's very close to your heart. So I want to make sure that I respect that and then we're able to share your story and hopefully we'll touch someone.
I hope.
Yeah.
That's our goal.
So what the audience is just getting to know you, and I'm sure a lot of friends and family are watching. Who is Moline?
Wow. Moline, obviously someone with open heart, that loves people, someone that's blessed and that's always there for anyone that comes her way. Mm-hmm. I also have a catering business, so some people might know me. Yeah. So that's who I am, someone that's there for anyone and always willing to help.
Yes, excellent. And this is what you're doing today, sharing your story. So what is alopecia?
There is multiple kinds of alopecia. Mm-hmm. The one I have is alopecia areata. That my follicles are not open enough for the hair to push through. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's caused by stress or the hair is just damaged. Mm-hmm. I don't know what caused mine. Mm-hmm. Mine started since 2017. I thought I just had a bald spot. I had a couple bald spots. Whenever I went to the hair salon, they seen it, but no one thought of anything. I thought it was color or something. We never knew until I got a biopsy done. I've had multiple doctors because I thought I could treat it. I thought, oh, if I put some oil, it'll grow back. No, I just made it worse. Covering it, stressing, because I'm stressing about my hair that's falling. So I'm damaging my hair more.
And when we were just chatting before the show, I was saying that how gorgeous. I remember your hair was long. It was always beautiful. Always had your hair done. You had it straightened. So when you actually came out, I would say, or shared with us, I was like, whoa, I was shocked. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Her face is so gorgeous, but this was a bold move. And I didn't pry to ask what happened.
Yeah.
I made assumptions, but I'm sure the process to actually you sharing with the rest of the world, you know, it took a lot of guts.
It did. Not only some people made me uncomfortable about it, so I was never open enough. I would come out one day without wearing a wig, another day, yes. But knowing that if I don't open the door for anyone to be comfortable, no one's going to accept me the way I am. So I had to be, I think during COVID, to be honest. During COVID, I was going through a lot. It helped me self-reflect, and I'm like, anyone's going to have to take me the way I am.
Absolutely, and that's how it should be. You know, on Kozé, we talk a lot about self-love, that you can't expect something from someone else when you're not able to give it to yourself.
I didn't think like that before. I really had to go through it to understand that. To show the world who I was.
Who you are.
Yep.
So let's kind of take it a bit step back. So you get your hair done every 2 weeks, you go into the salon, and then you notice, do you remember the moment you noticed the spot?
Yes, okay. I noticed the spot. I went to my dermatologist because I suffer with eczema. So I thought maybe it's the eczema causing something with my hair loss. He was like, no, there's nothing. But I'm like, the spots are getting worse. I was having patches all in the front, the back. The hairdressers were trying to cover it up. I'm thinking maybe, like I said, it's color or something. Never knew. Then I went to another doctor because now we're moving up to the front. The hair is really short, and the very front is long. So I'm like, okay, something's wrong. I don't see the hair shedding. I don't see it.
So there wasn't chunks coming out for you. It was just kind of like slowly that you would see the patches.
Yep, I just saw the patches, but I never saw the hair. So I'm like, something's happening. Then I went to BMC. Someone referred me to a specialist there. She helped me. She's the one that diagnosed me, actually. We did the biopsy first. No one else did the biopsy. Till she did, she's like, that's what you have. And then I started with injections, which weren't helping. I did creams, weren't helping. I even went to try to get hair transplant because I just really wanted my hair.
You wanted your hair, yeah.
They were like, no, it won't work. I'm Haitian, so of course, not to say l'huile mascotte.
The miracle of all miracles.
Exactly. We're trying mint creams. We're trying everything from Haiti. And I'm like, there's nothing I can do at this point. So I started wearing wigs because I refused to go out without my hair being covered. I didn't want anyone to see me. I didn't want anybody to know. Even in my own house, I would wear a bonnet.
When did you share with your family? And what was their reaction when you shared you were going through this?
So I think it was on one of my birthdays. I cried. Like, I was supposed to get my hair done. I was wearing weave, actually. That's one of the patches. And my cousin seen the patches. I was like, oh man, she's gonna.
That was your secret.
That's my secret. And I'm like, she's gonna tell everyone. I'm like, I started crying. And I was like, I need to get my hair done. No one can see this. I need to get my hair done. I refused to get out of my room for anyone to see my hair. And I think they tried to understand me, but they couldn't. Because they're like, oh, it's chevalier. It's not. To me, it wasn't at that time. Because I'm like, how am I going to walk around? Because I'm not comfortable. They're like, no, you're fine, you're fine. Just
did you at some point start questioning your beauty?
I did. I did. I think I stopped questioning it maybe 2 years ago.
Wow. Wow.
I thought I wasn't beautiful enough. My head's not shaped well. Now I'm being led. I thought
so far from the truth.
I thought everything.
Yeah.
I didn't think, I was like, nobody's gonna look at me. And it was just hair. It's just hair.
It's just hair. But it means so much to us.
And sometimes I'm like, you know, maybe God was trying to bring me closer to him. Because, you know, like they say, if you love something too much, if you love something more than God,
and it becomes an idol,
he's going to take it away.
That's growth.
Yeah.
And that's also emotional health.
Yeah.
For you to be able to kind of look at it this way. Did you at some point feel like you were being punished?
Yes.
That, why is this happening to me? Did I do something wrong? Did you have these thoughts? And how were you able to work through them?
I cried. I cried going to sleep. I cried waking up, I'm crying. I'm at work, I'm crying. I cried and nobody could tell what was wrong.
So you were suffering in silence for a long time?
Yeah.
When did you decide, or did you decide to shave it all off, or did it just eventually all fell out?
Most of it fell off. I had a little bit left. My cousin, and he's like, "Oh, Belle, pourquoi ça fait être passé toute misère ça?" He came.
That's correct, yeah.
With the razor, he did it. So I'm thankful to him because he started it. He just shaved my head off, and I looked at him. I'm like, I'm not going out like that.
How was it that day after he shaved it off?
I cried a little bit, but I felt free. I felt free because I'm holding on to something that's not there. I'm holding to something that's out of my control. I can't control it anymore. So I have to be comfortable with it.
And I think that's a key word, control, because often in life, we try to control everything. I know I do.
We all do.
And so getting to a point where you have to surrender is hard, but it can also be freeing.
Exactly.
So with all these emotional turmoil that you're going through, you shave it off, but you're still not comfortable to go out in public. What was the process of getting to the point where it was self-acceptance and self-love?
I think just getting up, dressing up at times, looking at myself, and I'm like, I know we're on TV, I can't say the word, but I'm just like, you know what, I don't give a damn today. I really don't. It took me, I had to start in my house.
To where you're just walk around without a bonnet?
Because I would have people, like I would get nicknames from my own family.
Really?
Yep.
We don't realize these nicknames, what the impact that it has.
Exactly.
That's one thing in the Haitian community we really need to look at, where someone could have whatever it may be, and then we decide we're going to label them this thing.
We would get into a fight about it.
Do you feel comfortable sharing some of the nicknames that were used?
What words? Like one, I like now it's a joke to me. My cousin would call me Caillou, or we would get
Caillou was that little bald cartoon character.
Exactly. We would get Angelica.
Angelica. Was that another cartoon?
Yep, the doll from Rugrats.
Okay.
Because the way her hair would be.
Yeah.
There would be, we had a group, like now it's fine. They would have a group like, wow, like there's nothing there.
See, this is the thing with our Haitian community, the sensitivity level. It's like, but people didn't know you were suffering in silence. And I'm sure they weren't saying it to be mean, but just really understand that sometimes words hold power.
Exactly. If you said that to me like 5 years ago, I would have cried. I wouldn't know how to act. Now you say it, but
have you educated people though to say, because you never know who else they could come across, and that could be in that state where you were at the 5 years ago?
I've tried. I've told them. I don't think like the older generation will ever understand. Like for example, my grandfather. Oh, même je n'ai médicament pour passer.
So they're still trying to...
They're still trying.
Okay.
Even though you tell them, like, there's nothing I can do. It's not coming back. He doesn't understand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're fabulous. I think you're gorgeous. And I've said that to you.
Yes.
I think the minute you posted that picture, I said, oh my God, I love it. You're so beautiful. I've shared it with friends. But I knew that there were some hidden struggles that you must have endured, because I don't know if you watched this, Tracy Ellis Ross had a special on OWN about hair and black women and our relationship, and the representative Presley, she talked about her process, and I think hers they fell out of like with chunks. And she was really emotional when she talked about it, because again, black women, we have a special relationship with our hair. And you and I were sharing, because I had locks. Some people who might not know, I had locks for many years.
Long locks.
Yeah, almost 20 years. So when I turned 40, I decided to cut it. But what we were talking about is that was a decision I made. But then you felt like you lost your hair and it wasn't,
I didn't have the choice,
your decision.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you're still going through the mourning process of mourning the loss, or have you come to a place that you accept it?
Both.
Okay.
There's times I'm like, I wish I didn't have to wear a wig. I just want to have different styles. Like when I see the braids, I'm like, I wish. Anything, like going on a vacation, wintertime. It's too cold. I can't wear my head out, And I'm like, I don't feel like wearing a wig. I don't want to get it glued down. I just want to be myself. But I can't. It's not part of me anymore.
So every time you have those desires, you feel like this is just part of the mourning process, like you're grieving.
Yep. And I'm like, I question God at times. I'm like, God, why? Like, why'd you give this to me? But I don't know. He has a reason.
Well, you could be changing somebody's life right now.
Yes.
There could be a little girl or a little boy watching this, or an older person watching it and saying, well, what is this happening? Because I think it does happen. There's different types of alopecia. So and black women usually get the traction alopecia. That's from tight hairstyles, which we love our tight hairstyles. Whether it's crochet, whether it's braids, or people just keeping braids on for too long. Or even when you have locks, if you're doing it too tight, then the hair falls out. A lot of people see hair loss around the edges, and they still have to figure out a way. But then yours, it was just like a very drastic. And at this point, you kind of like, okay, it's either accepting it or allowing this to kind of keep you in a way in a closet and not live your life.
Exactly. I was willing to do anything.
Yeah.
Even go to DR. I had a friend of mine.
Really?
Yeah. I had a friend of mine look into it.
What were you going to go do in DR?
She told me this doctor specialized in people that has alopecia. I was willing to go. And then I don't know, something just happened. I'm like, it's not meant for me.
So then you thought about it and you changed your mind.
Changed my mind.
And how did you get to a point that you decided to change your mind?
I don't know, to be honest. It just happened. Like I stopped texting her about it. I would see her, I wouldn't even mention it. So I don't know. It happened by itself.
So then tell us about the day you decided. Did you do a professional photo shoot?
I did. Yes, I did.
Okay. And then you decided to share it on social media.
Yes. I think 3 years ago, for my birthday, I did a boudoir photo shoot.
I saw those. They were beautiful.
Thank you. And I told the photographer, I'm doing this to show the other side of me that people don't know about. And she's like, what is it? The minute I ripped off my wig, I'm like, I need it. I did it for myself. I needed to accept myself that day. I needed to know that at the end of the day, I got me, no matter what. It was my birthday, so I was like, that's my gift to myself. I'm welcoming myself, the new me that I need other people to accept.
I love that.
Yeah.
And that's so important, because if you remained hidden or remained in the closet in a way, then to have true authentic relationships, whether it's within your family or even intimacy, it would be really hard, because Moline didn't accept Moline. So it was that day that you're like, okay, this is me and I love me. Exactly.
I told my dad that not too long ago. I told him, he's like, oh, if you're going to meet someone, I'm like, Dad, then it's not meant to be.
Yeah, it's their loss.
I'm like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna hide with a wig on my head at night. that I can't live my life. No.
But that takes incredible strength. And people don't talk about vulnerability, how important it is, and how hard it is to be vulnerable, and showing the parts of you that you had questioned or didn't fully accept. But then if you don't do that work yourself, you can't put the burden on somebody else to do it.
Exactly. You're right.
So how was it once you did the photo shoot? Did you enjoy doing the photo shoot?
I loved every second of it. I'm ready to do another one. Because as I was losing my hair also, I was gaining weight from stress. Not knowing how I was gaining the weight, but I was. So I'm ready to do another photo shoot to show the new Moline that I'm comfortable even in front of the photographer. I think more now. I'm comfortable just walking around more.
Yeah.
So I'm ready for
Now
anything.
you're on TV, girl.
Yeah.
So tell me that day that you posted on Facebook and Instagram. People who didn't know, people like me who didn't know. What are some of the feedback that you received?
Are you okay? Malad?
Wow.
So again.
Wow.
Sak paso.
Because I don't think you wrote anything. You just put the pictures.
Posted.
You didn't say anything.
No.
So instead of people saying, I think I sent you a message saying, you look beautiful.
Yeah.
But people were asking if you were okay?
Yeah. Like sak paso shivo. Like.
Oh, wow. How did it feel to get those questions? And did you respond?
It was hard for some of them because, again, I think I just went through like a breakup during that time. So all those emotions are in me, eating me up still. So
multiple losses. You lost a relationship. Now you're losing your
hair.
Yeah.
Yep. My hair's falling out more. So them asking me that question instead of being my friend or like, you look good, like encouraging me, I wanted to go back into my shell.
So did you regret doing it that day?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Yep, sometimes I did. And then more and more, I'm like, it's all right. I know that's how our culture is. They don't really accept right away.
Please, Haitians, if you lose weight, they're like, oh my God,
yep.
Yep. So it's just, I love our people, but man, sensitivity is not our thing.
Exactly. So it's fine. But it took time. I think till now, it still takes me time to post pictures with my head out.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not gonna, I'll walk around the street, but to post a picture.
So what made you agree to come and talk to me today? Because I know I asked, and you took a while to respond.
Yeah. I thought about it, and I'm like, I want to help someone. Somebody that's going through what I went through. I wish I had someone to tell me. I wish I had a shoulder to cry on that would understand me. Because once again, our culture doesn't understand that, and they don't accept it. So I wish I had someone. So I'm hoping that we're helping someone out there.
I think so. I think we're encouraging someone. I'm sure people who are watching, they might share it with someone who's going through it and might not know how to react. So I'm sure that, you know, this is encouraging people. And I think right now, I'm looking at some of the comments. Someone says, my first thought when I saw you today was that, wow, you're gorgeous, because that's how I feel when I shave my hair off. This is the person who has, it's usually, she's right there. Someone says she's beautiful. Someone says you're just fine. Another person says, I'm speechless listening to you facing listening to what you're facing in you have such a stunning look. Someone say, you go girl. So I think this is also, you're helping someone, but hopefully the words are also encouraging you, because no matter how many times people are telling you beautiful, but if you don't feel it yourself, and if you don't come to accept that.
Yes, that is true. You could have told me that 3,000 times in one day. I didn't feel it. I thought I was ugly.
Wow.
Yeah. Just losing my hair changed everything.
Tell me about your mom, her reaction.
My mom, that bothered her a lot. Not only that, I'm her only daughter. So seeing all that beautiful hair that she's always taken care of, and she made sure I did the same thing, that eats her up. Till now, she's like, Mwen la dormi, bon Dieu dit m'che va pousser encore. And I can't just, I'm just like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, Mom. And today when she saw me, she's like, wow, oh, Belle.
You are.
And I'm like, yeah, thanks, Mom. But I know at times she's uncomfortable with it, but I show her, like, I'm ready for it, Mom. We're going out like this. We're going to the market with my head like this.
How are people reacting when you're out in public? Do you get any comments or questions?
It's nice. You have a nice head shape for it. I'm like, okay.
People come and touch your head?
Yeah. And that I'm really uncomfortable about.
Absolutely.
You know? Especially like I work in a hospital, so I don't go to work with my head out like that. But people do. People do.
Boundaries, people. You see someone out, you don't just touch their person.
Exactly. Like, oh, did you cut your hair? Like,
how do you react when they do?
I don't push anyone away.
You don't?
I don't.
You're better than me.
I don't. I don't because I don't know what the person's going through.
So people have seen you, walked up and reached out and touched your head.
Yeah.
And then you don't react and push their hand away?
I don't.
You just kind of...
I just look at you, side eye.
Okay.
But I'm uncomfortable, but I don't push anyone away. Because I don't know what that person's going through.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are some of the comments after touching that they would say when they've seen, like a total stranger?
Oh, your head is smooth. I'm like, okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You know? It's just, I mostly get that. Your head is smooth. I'm like, all right, thanks. Just keep it moving.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I have more questions.
Sure.
But I think it's probably time for us to take a small, short break. And then we'll be right back. If you're watching, share this with your friends. You're watching on Kozé on BCN. We're having a candid, honest, and needed conversation with my family, Moulin. We'll be right back.
Dans le moment, posséder une belle machine, c'est ça tout le monde a souhaité. C'est ça tout le monde a souhaité. Parfois, il est difficile pour une compagnie qui compte machine bien.
Et pas oublier, nous sur toutes plateformes comme Roku, Facebook, Fire Stick, YouTube et nous sous chaîne 31.3 local. BCN, c'est télévision pour communauté caribéenne. BCN, Boston Caribbean Network Television, c'est première télévision communautaire et commerciale qui est là pour promouvoir valeurs culturelles, sociales et historiques pays d'Haïti. Une télévision qui a 24/24 pour voir toutes nouvelles nationales et internationales. D'ailleurs, si vous avez aimé produire émission par sur radio ou bien sur télévision BCN, ou vous avez aimé nous filmer service dimanche l'église ou pas de problème, juste relais dans 617 290 16 60. 617 290 16 60 pour plus d'informations. Et pas oublier, nous sur toutes plateformes comme Roku, Facebook, Fire Stick, YouTube et nous sous chaîne 31.3 local. BCN, c'est télévision pour communauté caribéenne.
Dans le moment, posséder une belle machine, c'est ça tout le monde a souhaité. Parfois, il est difficile pour une compagnie qui compte machine bien, qui peut réaliser avec vous, qui sait posséder une bonne machine. Orelov Motors, qui est spécialisé dans la bonne machine neuf à usagers, sous besoin de bon et belle machine, voiture pour camion, contactez-nous quel que soit poteau et sur la terre, n'a fait livraison à la caille. Dans Orelov Motors, nous compte machine, de nouvelles machines de qualité, telles que BMW, Mercedes, Toyota, Honda et Latrier. Contactez-nous, nous vendons bon bagaille et au pas cher. Nous chitons dans Massachusetts 71, John Fitch, Highway Fitchburg, Infoline, 978 289 38 75. Ça fait 20 machines au moment, nous c'est mettre question.
Welcome back. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for sharing with your friends. Thank you for just subscribing to our station, Boston Caribbean Network. We are live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. This show comes every Sunday at 4 p.m. and we always have at least an amazing conversation or different topics that we present to you. So today we're talking about alopecia. And I know that a lot of people may be dealing with it themselves or might have family members. And so, you know, I'm so glad that Moline decided to share her personal story with us and her journey in self-reflection, self-love, and acceptance eventually. With this, because it's not a curse, it's just one of those things that, just like somebody have diabetes, someone might have alopecia. It's a diagnosis that you get from a physician because these are things that sometimes happen that we don't have answers for.
Very true.
Let's talk about dating. Obviously, you are a young woman, young, beautiful, and you're single.
Yeah.
And so tell me about just once you decided, okay, I'm going to come out, this is me, when you started meeting people and dating and sharing this with them.
I never did. I never did. Not like maybe a couple weeks ago, to be honest.
Okay.
Someone I've been talking to, I'm like, you know what? He's gonna have to like me with or without a wig.
You do a really good job with your wigs. Because when you put your wigs on, unless people now seeing it, they would say, oh, she doesn't have hair, because your wigs, they are on point.
It's a must. If I have a wig on, it's a must.
Yeah, yeah.
Once he saw me without a wig, I was scared. I didn't know if I was gonna scare him away, how he's gonna react.
Why would he be scared away?
Because he's never seen me without a wig. I've mentioned it.
But you're not scary. Do you feel that you might be scary?
I don't think I am.
Okay.
But I don't know what people are thinking. He was fine with it. He kept touching my head, actually. I was like, can you please stop? He's like, yeah, but your head is nice. You know, you should. I'm like, oh, that's not the reaction I expected. But I went home, tears of joy. Tears of joy, and I told my family. I was like, guys, he likes me without my wig. And I was like, you guys don't understand how that felt to me. Because knowing that you have a loved one, they're taking me as I am from the beginning, that's a plus. Nothing else mattered to me that day. Just knowing that he liked me for who I was.
And I'm sitting here, I'm like, why wouldn't he? That's what's going through my head. Because I'm like, wait, if he didn't, then like, boy, bye. Right? Why wouldn't he?
Right?
But I guess, that's just how I made up. I'm like, this is who I am.
Yeah.
I remember I had a conversation with my aunt years ago, because I'm diabetic and I have PCOS. And then she was like, don't share that when you're meeting someone. If you're dating a guy, don't share that. I'm like, why wouldn't I? If you are interested in me, then you need to know all the things. And if I'm interested in you, and also it's a privilege.
Exactly.
For someone for you to share that.
Yes.
So it was a privilege for him that you decided to share that. And I'm glad that he had the right reaction.
My dad was like, oh, but he did well, sans cheveux. And I'm like,
oh, Dad.
Come on, man. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, Dad, let it be.
Have you asked your dad what he's worried about?
I think
when he worries about that?
He doesn't want people to judge me. He doesn't want me to get hurt.
Okay. So it's coming from a place of protection.
Exactly. He's scared also. Because he's so used to seeing me long, beautiful hair. Because he'll talk about like, so that hurts him. They don't show it, but I understand.
So they're also grieving a loss.
Exactly. Because they're like, they don't understand.
Funny how we're all attached. It's not just the person with their hair, but even a loved one. They're attached to our hair.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's the new molding. Everyone has to take me as I am.
So now we've shared, your journey and the process and grieving. Did you at any point seek therapy?
No.
How come?
It never crossed my mind. Maybe because of our culture too.
Okay.
Nobody ever brought it up. I think my cousin did, but I'm like, for what? I talked to him. I'm like, you're like my therapist. Because we talked about everything. And like I said, he's the one that helped me get through it. And he was probably like the only one that kind of welcomed me the way I was. Other people, like, they're okay, but he was just like, Echevillier, Kimelo, by vague. But that pushed me. But to me, I still wanted my hair. I would do anything for my hair.
You still feel the same way now?
No.
Okay.
Now I'm like, It grows, it grows. It doesn't grow, all right. I have wigs if I need to, but it's fun.
So you don't have, there's nowhere deep down that you're thinking, I wish that it would grow back?
Probably deep down, but it doesn't bother me. It's not my biggest problem anymore. I don't lose sleep over it anymore. It doesn't take a place in my heart anymore.
I love that.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure people are wondering, besides talking to your cousin or crying, was there anything else, or was there a moment that you woke up and you were like, I'm okay today? Or was there anything that led to that moment?
At the beginning, no. I was never okay. I was never. The minute I had to put the wig on, I lost it.
And you used to wear a wig before?
Never.
'Cause I remember you always just had your natural hair.
Never.
I don't even think I've seen you in braids.
Once in a while.
Okay.
But never wore a wig. So when I had to wear it, I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like, what is this? No.
And so young.
So
I mean, I know wigs are popular now, but it wasn't always the case.
Exactly. And I didn't like the store-bought wigs. I felt like they were like for old people. It was horrible. It was really bad. And so it's like, I gotta do it.
So let's talk about even going through that and still working and starting your business, because how long ago did you start your business?
During COVID.
During COVID.
Yeah.
So how are you able to kind of navigate through? So you're working, you're going through this huge loss, not only your relationship, but also your hair loss. And then you decide, oh, now I'm going to start a catering business.
It helped me.
Okay.
I'm doing what I love. So it helped me not feel the pain. I'm too busy, I'm too occupied to remember about it. Unless I'm going to bed or I'm in the kitchen, I have a bonnet on. I'm hot. And I'm like, I can't take it off because I don't want people to see me.
In your house?
In my house. In my house. I had people in my house like laugh at me. I still have that video on my phone. Yeah.
Share that.
Yeah. They laughed. I was like, oh my God. Because I wasn't accepting it. So, of course, they found my weak spot to bring me down.
Have you since had conversations, follow-up conversations?
I think now they realize that I'm okay.
Okay.
They accept
Did anyone
it.
apologize?
No, no one has ever apologized.
You guys owe her an apology.
Not
I'm just looking at the camera right now. Whoever laughed at my cousin, you owe her an apology now.
No
so
one
please
has
make it happen.
ever. Till this day, nobody has ever apologized.
You might not need it. I'm saying they should.
I
You
don't.
might not need their apology
I
at
don't
this
think
point.
they understood what I was going through. The pain that I was carrying. I don't think anybody has ever understood. I could share it, but I don't think you'll ever understand until you're in my position.
But I feel like someone doesn't need to understand your pain to have some level of compassion.
I agree.
Because it's, again, especially women, as black women, we know how attached we are to our hair. You know, any event, we think about what style am I going to do. So to me, I think every time I see something, I would send you a positive comment where it's like, I'm not asking what's going on until I wanted you to come on the show. But, you know, because I'm aware of alopecia, but I'm not going to add on to your pain. So compassion is really important. And if, you know, anyone who's watching this, it's like, you be kind to people because you never know what battles that they're facing. But even with that, compassion should be something that you offer to everyone.
Agree. I agree.
And that's something in the Haitian community we need to change that.
Yes.
With the nicknames or using someone's challenge to think it's funny when it's not. There's nothing funny about that.
I agree.
Because going to bed crying, no one wants that, and no one should have to go through that.
I agree.
Let's go back to the comments on social media when you shared your picture. Did you answer anyone? Did you send any response to anyone from whether their curiosity about asking if you were healthy or whatever it was? Did you answer?
No. I left it as it was. Never answered. Why? I felt like if you were really a friend or family, you have my number. You'll personally call me and ask me.
Good. Do you think that partly because I can sense that you have a strong sense of self, you have a strong family that loves and adore you, and so that means you had a good foundation. Do you feel like that's how you were able to bounce back?
I felt like it took me time. I had the push from them, from some of them, yes. So that definitely helped. And again, just realizing it's not my choice. It's out of my hands.
Absolutely.
So I couldn't.
So one of my cousins, Jessie, who's been on the show, so she just wrote, I feel you, I have vitiligo, I've been through that. Yap gado vre sumunyo. You're beautiful. Self-confidence and self-love. Because she also shared something that, again, we don't talk about in the Haitian community. And these are things that, as human beings, you're faced with that. Did anyone ever say to you that you were cursed? Because I know that's a big thing in our Haitian community, that family members say, Madi Showi. Did you get that?
Yeah. Or even about my eczema. Like, get someone qui fait ça. Like, keep moving. Ba fè moun mal. Ba koun moun.
Wow.
You know, like, just, it's health issues. Ba koun moun. So, pou ki sa mbal fè moun mal? Pou ki sa moun ap fè mal moun men?
And for some people who probably started watching in the middle, this is not something that you decided you had. You were diagnosed by a licensed physician.
Yeah, multiple of them.
You had multiple tests done for them to say this is what you have.
Yeah.
How did you receive that news? The day, do you recall the day at BMC that this doctor said this is what you have?
I looked at her and I didn't know what it was still. I didn't know what alopecia was till I had it. I cried. I cried because I'm like, what am I going to do?
Were you alone?
I was alone. I always went to my appointments alone. I'm like, all right, this is not done. I'm going to go see another doctor. I went again. Did the same thing. Yep, you have alopecia. Like, damn. All right, I really have it. There's nothing I can do. And I became like a little guinea pig. Trying anything. Anything anyone told me or whatever the doctor told me, I tried. I even had one of these medicines that gave me an allergic reaction. My face was swelling up, my ears were swelling up. My skin color changed. I was really dark, but I still kept going. And to be honest, the last medicine I just stopped last month.
Wow.
Last month. And I think that was my wake-up call. Because the doctor, he warned me, he told me it would attack my immune system, but I wanted to try it.
So medication that could cause you to have something else, but you still wanted to kind of find a way to get your hair back.
Yep.
And so you were willing to risk it.
I was willing to risk it.
That's powerful.
And guess where I ended up? Like last month in the hospital.
Wow.
And that's when the light, I was like, you know what? Moline, just let it be.
You're worth more than the hair.
Exactly. I'm like,
you
can't
being
be
alive and well.
Exactly. And that's when I was like, you know what? I'm ready to talk to anyone. And then you sent me that message. I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Divine timing.
Yeah.
You're probably saving someone's life right now and you don't know.
Exactly.
Because if there's a lot of things out there. I know people do it for their skin if they're unhappy with their skin and your hair. Ms. Ami, just don't take, sometimes doctors will give you medication. It's not worth it.
Exactly. The minute the doctor came in, let me tell you, I was in that hospital. I was scared because I didn't know what was going on. We didn't even know it was the medicine at first. Everyone has PPE coming in the room. So I'm like,
just from the reaction you had from the medication?
Yeah. I'm like, what's going on? Do I have something? No one could tell me. Till now, like you'll see, I have the biopsy that you did on my arm. And I'm like, and he was like, it's the medicine. I'm like, stop it. And I started crying while I'm telling him I'm crying. I'm like, just stop it.
Were you crying because then it was kind of like saying, okay, this is the end now. I'm just going to accept this and move on and live my life?
Yep. I'm like, it's not worth it to go through all this, to put my life in danger. It's not.
I agree. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
So if someone's watching and you're facing any kind of hair loss, the first thing you need to do is call your doctor.
Yeah.
Call your doctor and talk about it. Don't take this show and decide to self-diagnose. I said it at the start of the show. I'm saying it now. Reach out to a dermatologist.
Yeah.
And then once that happens, then you work through it, because your journey will be different. Everybody's journey is different. But we encourage you in saying, be careful in the kind of medications that you agree to take on, because it could have, different life-threatening, results. So I'm so glad that you are here, you are healthy, and that you are in your process of accepting.
Yes.
Would you say it's a process?
I think I've accepted.
You've accepted.
I've accepted. I came.
You are here.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I have accepted. I'm comfortable. I feel free. Every time I think I'm not wearing a wig, I feel free. I don't have the heat on my head. I'm not scared that, the wig might fall off. I'm not worried about what people are going to think anymore. So I've accepted.
If you had a few words, a message to send out to someone watching today, what are some of the things that you would share with them?
Love yourself, no matter what. If you're not accepting yourself, no one will. No one will. People will mistreat you. And I've gone through it. So you have to be able to accept yourself and love yourself for who you are and the way you look.
Yeah. And that's the ultimate way to find freedom, is really self-love.
Yep.
Let's talk about your business and how can people connect with you?
Malicious.
Besoin de pâté ou pas de pâté pour moi aujourd'hui?
I will. Yeah, we do everything. Pâté, cakes, cremas, everything. You name it, we make it. As ordered, obviously. I could be contacted on Instagram, Facebook, Malicious Gourmet Arrangements, and email also, moline.laurent22@gmail. And yeah.
All of that. Now, what's ahead for you? Do you see yourself kind of like an ambassador or for alopecia? I don't know. I'm just saying.
Funny you said that. A couple weeks ago, someone said that to me. I was like, me?
Listen, God puts messages in different people for different reasons.
And then as I was coming here, I was thinking about it. And on Friday, I was thinking about it. I'm like, why not?
Have you connected with anyone within the community? Because I know there is a community of women. I'm not really sure the correct name, but some women who have chosen to just wear short hair. Some women because going through alopecia. Because I think that was featured on that show.
I've never
connected
with anyone.
To kind of get some, I would say, peer support in a way.
In my little shell.
In your shell. You're getting out now.
Yeah. I was in my little shell, very quiet about it. Unless I hear someone talking about it, I'll mention it. But honestly, I've never just start talking about it to anybody.
It's worth talking about.
Yeah.
Because you could be helping someone find their freedom, that you went through a lot to get to a point where you found it. But,
But then I always wonder, do people think the same way? It's not just here at that time. I don't know if anyone ever... Like, oh, okay, whatever, it fell out. But once I start sharing my story, I don't want people to think like, oh, you know how Haitian people.
No, but I hear what you're saying, and I understand that point. But we also know how much we value, how much conversation, how much money people make when it comes to Black women, hair products, the hair that they sell, different things. So that is something that is a huge part of us. Yes, India.Arie sang that song, I am not my hair. We know we're not our hair. And as much as we can see that, we say it, But emotionally, and that's what I was telling you when with my locks, I decided to cut them because I felt like I want to do it when I have a choice, because you never know what could happen that you might not have a choice. And even when I did, I went through a whole process to decide that. I still cried.
Yeah.
Because it was a loss. And so we grieve it. So even though you are not your hair, but hair is important to us.
Very.
So it matters.
Yeah.
Your emotions, your feelings matter. And a lot of people are very attached to their hair.
Yeah, that's true.
So no, muna pale, muna di sa yo ble regardless.
That's true.
But ou pa ka nou pa viv pou moun.
That is true.
Nou pa viv pou moun.
Yep.
Nou la sou terre, you're gonna be nice to people, be considerate of their feelings, but also show compassion to others and demand the same thing, that people should show compassion.
Okay.
So somebody just wrote, Nadia Gay wrote, "Hi, thank you for watching. We are not our hair. We can be beautiful without hair. C'est pas cheveux qui fait moun belle.
Yes.
C'est ça qui fait pour nous plus kind, even ever." L'autre parce que maybe I'm not reading this right. Parce que nous moun nous pas connaît qui ça la pandi dans la vie. And we said that because people don't know what you're going through. But I also want to caution people, don't just go and touch somebody's head. Come on. I know she's nice, but you can't do that. That's like, it's called respect and boundaries.
Yeah.
So if you see her on the streets, don't go and pat and touch her head. It's better to ask questions.
Yeah.
Do you welcome questions?
I do.
Okay.
I do. That's how you can help someone.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Do you find, or do people, well, actually, are people at work aware that you have alopecia?
No.
Okay.
Unless I talk to you, I'll bring it up.
Okay.
But no, not strangers.
So do you wear a wig when you go to your 9 to 5?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
Because we know there's always questions about black women and their hair. I face that every day at work.
Oh, you changed your hair today? Your hair's different? Yeah. Yeah, we know.
So, but they don't know?
No.
Wow.
Unless, I don't know if you could tell, like sometimes I tie my hair. You probably could tell in the back, but no one has ever questioned me.
Okay. And no one has asked you?
No.
Have you gotten like looks from them?
No.
You're probably not looking for that because today you're like, you know what, this is me.
Exactly.
I'm here.
Yep. So it doesn't bother me.
Well, you know, I am so thrilled and I'm so happy that you decided to share this publicly for the first time on our platform here at Boston Caribbean Network. I feel very privileged because I know it's something that's very close to your heart. And I really, really, really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for helping me, I guess, get out of my comfort a little bit. Thank you for helping me help someone also. So that means a lot.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
It's my pleasure.
I appreciate
Do
it.
you have some last words for our friends watching? Last words of encouragement?
If you have alopecia, I mean, just rock it.
Yes!
Rock it.
Rock it.
Rock it.
Maybe that's like an idea for a t-shirt.
Yeah, just rock it, you know?
See, I'm trying to get you to make money.
Yeah, I see. I see. But, yeah, just rock it. Be comfortable. It's yours. Own it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Merci tout le monde qui t'a regardé nous aujourd'hui pour l'autre émission An Kozé. Si vous êtes fanatique An Kozé, mon top 10. Si vous êtes fanatique Boston Caribbean Network, je top 10 toujours. So I would say make sure que vous abonnez na Facebook, YouTube, BCN TV on YouTube. Chaque dimanche An Kozé, c'est là. This is what's happening right now. This is what's hot. So, An Kozé nous chaque dimanche à 4h avec Zamiou, maman. Souhaitez nous te apprendre nos bagages aujourd'hui. Souhaitez nous t'encourager au monde aujourd'hui. On t'a regardé. Vous allez plus faire en anglais. Même pas sans pile nous parler anglais. So, souhaitez nous apprendre pour nous remettre tête nous parce que chaque dimanche nous connaissons samedi nous remettre tête nous avant parce que si vous pas remettre tête ou pas qu'à expect qu'on l'autre monde après moi parce que c'est vous même qui vous montrer qui ça ou gagne, qui valeur gagne pour attirer l'autre monde venir. So, moi, remets nous en pile. Merci parce que nous gardez. Merci pour support nous. À la prochaine.
BCN BCN, Boston Caribbean Network Television, c'est première télévision communautaire et commerciale qui est là pour promouvoir valeurs culturelles, sociales et historiques pays d'Haïti. Une télévision qui l'a 24/24 pour voir toutes nouvelles nationales et internationales. D'ailleurs, si vous avez aimé produire émission par sur radio ou bien sur télévision BCN, ou avez aimé nous filmer service dimanche l'église ou, pas de problème, juste relais dans 617 290 16 60. 617 290 16 60 pour plus d'informations. Et pas oublier, nous sur toutes plateformes tant que Roku, Facebook, Fire Stick, YouTube et nous sous chaîne 31.3 local. BCN, c'est télévision pour communauté caribéenne.
Dans le moment, posséder une belle machine, c'est ça tout qu'on t'a souhaité. Parfois, il est difficile pour une compagnie qui compte machine bien, qui peut réaliser avec vous, qui sait posséder une bonne machine. Orelov Motors, qui est spécialisé dans la bonne machine neuve à usagers, sous besoin d'une bonne et belle machine, voiture pour camion, contactez-nous quel que soit côté et sur la terre, n'a fait livraison à la caille. Dans Orelov Motors, nous compte machine, de nouvelles machines de qualité, telles que BMW, Mercedes, Toyota, Honda et Latrier. Contactez-nous, nous vendons bon bagaille et au pas cher. Nous chitons dans Massachusetts 71, John Fitch, Highway Fitchburg, Infoline. 978 289 38 75. Ça fait 20 machines au moment, nous sommes mettre question.
Fire Stick, YouTube et nous sous chaîne 31.3 local. BCN, c'est télévision pour communauté caribéenne. BCN, Boston Caribbean Network Television, c'est première télévision communautaire et commerciale qui est là pour promouvoir valeurs culturelles, sociales et historiques pays d'Haïti. Une télévision qui l'a 24/24 pour voir toutes nouvelles nationales et internationales. D'ailleurs, si vous avez aimé produire émission par sur radio ou bien sur télévision BCN, ou avez aimé nous filmer service dimanche l'église ou, pas de problème, juste relais dans 617 290 16 60. 617 290 16 60 pour plus d'informations. Et pas oublier, nous sur toutes plateformes tant que Roku, Facebook, Fire Stick, YouTube et nous sous chaîne 31.3 local. BCN, c'est télévision pour communauté caribéenne.